In 5.6, we're finally getting off of right triangles, and we're going to deal with not a right triangle. Okay, so yeah, one way to solve a not a right triangle is called the laws of sines. And we're also going to find the area of triangles, again, that are not right. Right triangles, you would use SOHCAHTOA. Now we're going to learn the laws of sines. And the laws of sines is side A over the sine of angle A over side B over the sine of angle B. It can be any letter. It doesn't have to be those letters. It can be side D over the sine of angle B. So for example, this problem right here, if I want to find all the parts of the triangle, these two are opposites of each other. So I'm going to do 38 is the sine of 112 as 22 is to the sine of angle L. And then all you're going to do is, it's a proportion, so you're just going to cross multiply. You're going to do the 22 is the sine of 112 is 38 is to the sine of L. You're going to multiply this into your calculator and divide by 38. You're trying to find the angle. If you're trying to find the angle, you need to use this button on your calculator. This finds the side, and this finds the angle. You had it on the first test, so you should know what you're doing. So take 22 sine of 112 and divide that by 38, and then you have to take let me do it one more time. 22 sine of 112 divided by 38. This ends up being 0.53679 dot 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 equals the sine of L. So now you have to do the second sine of the second answer. It's right above the negative sign. It says answer. So all I did was second sine. I did second sine, second, right above the negative sign that says answer. And it's going to end up being 32.5 degrees for this. And then once you know that one's 112 and the other one is 32.5, you can add those up. And that makes 144.5, and you know that every triangle adds up to 180 degrees, so you know that this angle is 35.5. And then you have to do it again. 38 is to the sine of 112 as side N is what we're trying to find, is to the sine of 35.5. Again, you're dealing with a fraction equals a fraction, so all you're going to do is cross multiply. 38 times the sine of 35.5 goes here, which is 22.0667, and the sine of 112 n goes there. So in order to get n alone, you take this and divide it by the sine of 112. And that side is going to equal 23.8. Easy way to check it, the largest angle needs to go with the largest side. The next largest angle has to go with the next largest side, and so on. So those are correct answers because they're all, the largest angle is going with the largest side, and the smallest angle is going with the smallest side. So again, the laws of sines, you are going to work with this button right here. That's going to help you find the sides of the missing triangle. And this right here will help you find the angle of the missing triangle. And you're going to be cross multiplying a lot because they're proportions. So that's the first part of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is finding the area of a non-right triangle. You know how to find the area of a right triangle. That's 1/2 base times height. But how do you find the area if it's not a right triangle? If you're given two sides and one angle, then you would use this formula. If you're giving two angles and one side, you would use this formula, and these formulas are on that formula sheet that I was talking about. So they gave us two sides and the angle. We're going to use this one. Again, the letters are just interchangeable. You're going to go 1/2. The two sides, and the two sides up here are A and B, but the two sides here are B and C. So it's 21.2 times 16.5 times the sine. If this is A and B, then the sine that they give you has to be the other side's angle, which is A, and 25. And all you do is you just plug that all into your calculator. Do the sine of 25 multiplied by 21.2, multiplied by 16.5, and multiplied by 0.5, which is the same thing as 1/2. And the area of this triangle is 73.9. Given two sides and an angle, you would use the first one. And the last one, given two angles, they only gave us two angles though, and you need three angles. So what do we do if they only gave us two angles? Well, you know that the other angle has to add up to 180, so 111.1 plus 27.3 minus 180 is 41.6 is the other angle. Okay, watch how I strategically put this into the formula. Area is equal to 1/2. They give you the side, and the side that they gave you is J, so the side is 45.7 squared. If this is side, then that angle needs to be in the denominator. So the angle J needs to be in the denominator. The sine of 41.6 goes down here, and the sine of the other ones go up here. I'm running out of room, but it's the sine of 27.3 goes there. And then all you do is you plug it into your calculator. So the sine of 111.1 times the sine of 27.3 divided by the sine of 41.6. You're going to multiply that by 45.7 squared and multiply it by 0.5. The area is 673. Again, if they give you two sides and one of the angles, then you have to use this one up above. If they give you two angles, you can find the third angle to use this formula. And that's all the notes for 5.6.